All right, everybody got me? All right, first of all, it's always great to win. And, to walk back in that locker room and to get into Club Dub and to see those guys in there working hard and just seeing it pay off. I appreciate the fans. I know the sun was beating down on the east side, and they were fanning, but they were screaming and hollering, and I truly appreciate our fans that continue to show up. These guys love you, and they appreciate you more than you can ever imagine. And we truly appreciate the support and the cheers and just getting into the game, especially late in that game. Everybody was into it. I thought that Coach Bobo and his staff, I want to give credit to Colorado State, they had a great plan. Their kids play extremely hard. They're very well coached. They attacked our edge. They attacked some of our freshman defensive ends and got the ball outside. So credit to those guys. They fought all the way to the bitter end as well. I said it all week long. We had a great week of practice. We challenged our guys to respond, and I started seeing the response last Saturday night in the locker room. And we talked about we were going to make mistakes. We got a lot of youth out on the field. We made some mistakes today. We did not play perfect, but we did some. Our youth did some really good things, and they did some things that we got to improve on. But it's we had a lot of recruits here. It's fun to walk back in and to see the recruits in there. But again, response was it, and we did that several times today. We had to. We had to respond when our back was against the wall. We got outscored a little bit in the middle part of the game. We responded, and then we finished. That was the next thing. I wanted to see our guys finish, and I thought we did that. Offensively, I thought that we made some plays. Thought you saw some youth making some plays out there. And obviously Rakeem Boyd, Devil Whaley, I thought ran extremely hard. I thought our offensive line did some good things. But we did some really good things. I thought our first down production from last week to this week was completely different. We averaged 7.5 yards on first down, and I think Nick opened up a lot of our run game. I really do. I think Nick played very well. He was very confident. I'm very proud for him and this entire football team, and to see our guys rally around him. Thought defensively, first half we challenged them. They were running the ball at 10.3 yards a carry. I thought that we did some things. We corrected some things, but we stepped up and we made some plays in big moments. And obviously the big hit of Hayden Henry, knocking the ball loose right there to put us up three touchdowns was a huge part of the game. But I hats off to our players, our kids. I mean, they gave everything they had. They continue to play hard for us, and that's all you can ask. Got a lot of mistakes got to clean up, though, and we all understand that. And we'll get back in here and work on that tomorrow. But we're going to enjoy this one tonight. Thought special teams, Connor Limpert gave us a huge momentum boost. I thought that the kick probably could have went from 65. When it came off his foot, it was a rocket. It was great to see him respond after missing one last week. And I thought Sam Lloyd punted the ball very well. Thought our special teams in general, overall, did a really good job. And so it's great to see, but it doesn't surprise me. These guys had a great week of practice. They responded, and they just pulled together. And that was our challenge. We got a lot of work to do. We're going to get back in here tomorrow. We're going to clean up some mistakes. We got to keep improving, and that's what this thing is about. I'm proud of this team, but we've got a lot of work to do moving forward. So with that, I'll open up.
Raise your hand. I'll get a mic to you. Tom?
Chad, I got a couple of things. First of all, how gratifying was it that in the fourth quarter you surpassed them, unlike last year's game? How gratifying was it to push through there? Second, the C.J. O'Grady play, what you saw of that tackle-breaking play and why he didn't play in the first quarter.
Well, he'd been sick this week. He missed practice earlier in the week with strep throat. And I thought that to win it in the fourth quarter, we called them up, scores tied 34-34. We called them up, and we just kept talking about one play. Just play one play at a time. We got one quarter to play, and it's one response at a time. It's really what it is. So that was great to see, especially what happened a year ago. But to see our guys, they weren't going to let this happen again. They weren't. T.J. Smith, Scuda, Sosa, those guys in that defensive huddle were calm. but they were certain that we were going to go win this thing in the fourth quarter. And then obviously offensively, we had a great response as well. I thought C.J. O'Grady I thought that was a huge play for us. Just keeping his legs moving, determination, will, his drive. I thought that was a great finish by him.
Chad, that was the first game Nick had started, I think, since the bowl game his freshman year at A&M. I just think he handled everything. How did he play overall? And then we saw a bumper with his arm in a sling. Can you give us an update on him? I think Monteric maybe wasn't in there late. Any other injuries?
Yeah, I don't know on bumper. I think it was a shoulder. We'll look at that tonight and tomorrow. We'll see on that. I thought Nick did a great job. I really did. I thought he was, he had prepared himself very well. Again, he missed some things. We missed a couple of deep balls that I know he wished he'd had back. But the ball comes out of his hand extremely quick, and he sees the field really well, and he's able to communicate with us on the sideline. So I thought his comfort level grew as the game went.
Any other injuries?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard if there was.
Chad, after they
went down the field in 2 plays, how important was it for your team to answer that score?
Well, it was huge. It was nothing more than just going back to a response. And respond. It was a long game. We got a lot of ball left. We'll get it fixed. But we adversity hit, and we had talked about that. It was going to happen again. I thought that this was going to be a huge week for this program and this team this year of how we dealt with adversity today. And so I thought we did a good job of that. And again, I'm proud of the guys the way they responded. But I'm not surprised because that's what we did all week long.
Coach, I was noticing that I think it was 5 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go, and on your defense, I think you had 4 or 5 freshmen in the game. Sort of how do you work that with your program? How do you sell recruits and talk about what that means and where you're going with your program?
Yeah, well, you first talk about all the hair you're losing when you put those guys in there. Yeah, that comes with it, though. But you love they don't know, and that's what you love about them. You got a group of seniors and older guys that are taking them under their wing, and I think we all know they're going to be fantastic players in due time. They're going to make mistakes. We got to live with that. We got to understand that and know that we got to respond when those things happen, and it happened today. But I don't know how many freshmen we played today. We played quite a few, but those guys to be able to continue to make plays and make some big stops for us and catches for us.
Coach Morris, when Nick had to make a play, it seemed like Trey Knox or Traylon Burks was the guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, how good is it to see them all being on, looking at each other, knowing they're the guy to make the play, and they're true freshmen as well.
Yeah, and I thought Mike Woods did some really good things as well too. It just shows the confidence level that Nick has in those two guys. Obviously, their playmaking ability has shown up over and over and over, and so that it doesn't surprise me they're able to make plays. Really proud of them. I think again they got a great future ahead of them. We got to keep getting them better. We got to keep clean up some of the mistakes that were made, but they're giving everything they got, and that's all you can ask.
Coach, last week you mentioned that Nick Starkel provided a spark in the offense. How has the team reacted to him as a starting quarterback, and what differences has he made? How has he jump-started to change in the offense?
Yeah, I think we saw some of that last week in the second half. I think you saw his ability to move the offense. I thought that our offense picked up kind of where we left off last week. He did provide that spark for us. Our players rallied around him. They know it's going to take all those guys in that quarterback room to be successful, but very proud of the way that all our guys, defensively, offensively, just came and basically put their hand on Nick and said, "Let's go, man. You're our guy, and we're gonna support you, and let's go show us." And he did.
Chad, you kind of touched on this, but really going back to way before you got here, Arkansas had a habit of building leads and blowing them. And then today you had a lead, they caught up, but then then you made play, you got stops, you scored. I mean, how good is that kind of the culture change everybody's been talking about? Well,
again, it's one game, And yes, I thought that was huge for the culture of this football team and what we've talked about. And because it took great mental and physical toughness to finish. And so, yes, I would say that had a lot to do with it. But again, we've got to continue to put games together.
I had one more with O'Grady. You know, he didn't play in the first quarter. Then he played in the second quarter. Was that any kind of disciplinary thing? I know you said he had a strep throat, or was that more, hey, he didn't practice Thursday, so I'm not going to start him? Because he went right in the second quarter.
Yeah, he went in the second quarter. I thought that Chase did a great job, especially coming off that touchdown catch. We wanted to go ahead and we just got into the second quarter, and it was time to go. So he had strep throat. I don't know, whatever day it was, Wednesday and Thursday.
How do you feel your offensive line responded after the game last week?
You know, I thought that they did a really good job of just handling the plan that we asked them to do. Again, when you put, I think Ty Clary has improved tremendously. His leadership, his in the huddle before we're going out, we're fixing to make our play call. He's in complete control. That's a credit to him. And again, we got a lot of stuff to clean up there, but I thought they did a really good job keeping Nick clean for the majority of the night.
What happened on the 4th and 1? You sent the punt team out, you called a timeout, then you went for it. Of course, you had the false start. But were you going to punt there, or did you just change your mind? Or?
Well, no, I just changed my mind. I changed my mind. I thought that I did. I was going to consider punting, and then we got the guys coming off the field and just look at their eyes. Looked at them, saw our offense, look at me and go, Coach, I want to go for it. And so, okay, it's what you asked for. We're going to do it.
I'm sorry. Were you concerned about the defense being on the field so much at that point in the third quarter anyway?
Yeah, a little bit, but it was more so the confidence that those guys offensively were giving me as they come off the field. And I thought, well, let's just go ahead and call a timeout here and go for it. Unfortunately, we would have had it, but unfortunately we jumped off sides. But anyways.
Coach, you said earlier in the week, I think on your radio show, that you gave Nick some freedom on first and second down. How'd you see him react to that, or did he change plays, or how was he handling those situations?
Well, I thought that our complete offensive staff, I thought Coach Craddock did a great job of preparing him, and us all pulling together and doing things that he felt comfortable doing. He gave more of a response on the sidelines than he did much checking. He did check a few, but it was more of when he came off the field, what he saw, what he liked, what he didn't like, and we just all worked together on it.
Coach, what do you make of Rakim's performance today? It was his first multi-rushing touchdown effort as a Hog.
Well, I thought we ran the ball well. I think a great compliment is he and Devois, and Devois rushed for 80-something yards. But I think you go back and when you're able to throw the football and throw it effective, it backs people off. It allows your run game to open up. And I thought, there for probably the majority of the game, we were pretty balanced in our yardage. And I thought that was, again, a credit to our ability to be able to throw the football on early downs and move the chains.
I know they had a couple of chunk run plays early on in the game. What did you make of the way your front seven played and defended the run specifically?
Well, extremely proud of Sosa, Scuda, and T.J. Smith, and Gabe. I thought Gabe really responded with a big sack right there. Again, they got good players too. You're going to get blocked sometimes. You're going to misfit a gap. It's all about how you respond, and I thought that they responded well. They made some stops when they had to. They put some pressure on them when they had to, and so I thought that Coach Chavis and our defensive staff did a good job with coming up with answers.
Coach, you go 305 in the passing game, 215 rushing, 23 first downs. Is that a Chad Morris offense? That's what numbers you want?
Yeah, I think that you kind of saw some of that. We kind of got into a little bit of a groove last Saturday. We missed some things in the first half, but the second half we kind of got in a groove, got in a little bit of a rhythm, and I think as balance. We've always been fairly balanced. I think you saw some of that tonight, and I think that this will continue to improve. This football team will continue to improve, and that's what I ask of them.
Hey, Chad, Chase obviously had a rough opener receiving-wise, had some drops. How good was it to see him get that touchdown catch. Was he the first option on that? And obviously you guys were still going to go to him, you know.
Yeah, I think he had dropped one earlier too, it was. I mean, he was our number one option on that play. I know Coach Craddock saw something from the box and had a great call on that, and just a return off of an outcut, and Chase was there, and it was good. Again, great to see. We've seen him make those plays in the game, in practice, and to see him to make it in the game, it'll only boost his confidence.
Coach, what did you see from Greg Brooks? He's playing a lot of reps.
Yeah, he's playing a lot of reps. I know that, from personnel packages, he and Hayden are back and forth with the different personnel, with getting the Sam or the nickel in. Again, freshman, I thought he made some good plays. I thought he got out leveraged a few times, and they caught the slant up underneath him. But he's a competitor, and he just keeps improving. As they all do.
One more for Coach. Yeah, the breakdown play that they scored their last touchdown on. I mean, that's the second time one of those has happened. Is it just a little bit of luck there, or what?
Yeah, I think a lot of. Guy did a great job keeping his eyes down the field. We lost him. We didn't keep our eyes on him. Miles, just loses him, and guy makes a play, and credit those guys. I thought he never gave up on the play.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.